against the Pelicans. Got out.
It's going to turn up.
Records are meant to be broken.
Performance in NBA history.
First of all, this is not a hater channel, and the fact that Bam Adebayo hit 83 is honestly
insane.
Man, I wish I could relive it twice.
Well, Bam, you're about to, because in this episode, we are going to look at every single one of Bam's 43 fouls and free throws to figure out what the because Bam Adebayo broke that record too. Prior to March 10th, 2026, Wilt Chamberlain and Adrian Datley had the record for most free throws made in a game with 28, while Dwight Howard had the record for most free throws attempted with 39. Now, Bam Adebayo stands alone, eclipsing the record for most free throws made and attempted with 36 and 43. For a player who's averaged 16 points per game over a 9-year career and 19 points per game this season, well, the people just want to know how.
How, Sway?
And yes, there were a ton of fouls and a ton of free throws, but that isn't the entire story. Bam Adebayo outscored the Wizards 31-29 by himself in the first quarter. So it goes without saying that there was a ton of skill involved to break this historic record. This is in the first quarter. Bam gets the ball at the three-point line, tries to go up, gets fouled. I mean, we've seen that happen 1,000 times. That's a regular foul in the NBA. Here's another one. Alexandre Sarr tries to shoot it. Alex fouls him. There's another with Bam coming down the court. Like, these are 3 stupid fouls in the first quarter. And I mean, any professional basketball player, especially if you've been in the game for a while, you target mismatches. Alexandre Sarr has only been in the league for 2 seasons. Of course, Bam being a vet, he's going to see that this guy likes to reach, or this guy is a little handsy, or he's a little jumpy with every ball fake I make. So, of course, you're going to target him. At the three-point line, trying to cross over, and people are just using their hands to block him. Like, you can't do that. This was another foul and one. Bam crosses him, gets by the defender. The guy reaches around trying to poke it away, but of course, there's contact there. He gets the and one. I mean, so far in these 4 or 5 free throws in the first quarter, it looks pretty normal to me. He makes the steal, tries to go up for the layup. There's 2 players around him. He gets fouled before he makes the layup. I mean, it's a smart foul, make him earn it at the free throw line. And yeah, this is a dumb foul, but it happened. At this point, Bam is frying them in the first quarter. He has 31 points. And so they're basically doing anything they can to prevent him from even getting the ball. And of course, that aggressive prevention results in another foul. Bam finished with 6 of 7 from the free throw line in the first quarter. And if this is how the entire game went, I don't think anybody would be upset or anyone would care. But let's look at the second quarter. So now we're like 5 minutes into the second quarter. Bam is back in the game. He gets a rebound, tries to go back up. He's clearly being held. That's a foul. No argument there. So again, there's nothing here that looks weird. The Wizards are just committing really stupid fouls. Here's another one again. They're just doing anything they can to try to prevent the ball from getting into Bam. Right now, the Wizards are down by 13. So, I mean, it's a lead, but it's not an unmanageable lead. But yeah, you can't be that aggressive when you're trying to prevent somebody from getting the ball. And I will say, in all these little fouls where the Wizards are trying to just prevent him from getting the ball, he's not flopping. Like, I've seen Jokic land on people, fall down, do all kinds of floppy things when this type of thing happens to get the attention of the ref. But Bam isn't doing that. He's just fighting. And then eventually the ref is calling it because he sees this is ridiculous. So, again, this is halfway through the second quarter. Still, I haven't seen a foul here that's worth complaining about. Okay, so we got about 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Bam gets the ball on the low post again, tries to go up with it, and the guy just hacks him. He grabs his arm. You can see it clear as day. You don't even have to zoom in or see a replay. A minute in, again, Bam just beats a guy with some light footwork, easy blow by. He gets pushed out of bounds. Fouling him pretty hard at this point because he dropped 31 in the first quarter and then he dropped 12 in the second quarter. So they're just furious at this point, and the fouls are giving that. This is another one here. Bam is going in for the layup. He's running downhill. There's nobody in front of him. 2 guys are just swatting, just hoping for the best. And of course, you're going to get somebody's arm that way. So another foul. These are just dumb fouls. Like, what are the Wizards doing? So now this is the third quarter. Bam is being guarded by a center, and he's way more mobile, and he's a lot quicker than a lot of these other guys, so they don't really have a chance, and he's a lot stronger, so they don't really have a chance. I've seen those calls. It's not an egregious, horrible call. Bam was cooking these guys, like frying them. Again, in the third quarter, same thing. He just does a simple move, goes right, hops up. They can't do anything about it, so they foul him again. About 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Bam is kind of trapped at the baseline. He sees two guys, tries to split and go between them, but he's already picked up his dribble, so he can't dribble anymore, so he just uses the footwork. This one felt a little ticky-tacky. Refs could have probably let that one go. I think Bam was trapped, and they bailed him out. Bam again going strong, but he knows what he's doing. He's a lot stronger than these guys, and if he goes in and initiates the contact, they're probably going to give him the call, and they do. Have I seen this call before? Absolutely. Here's another foul. Again, Bam is just trying to establish his positions. He's allowed to stand there. He's allowed to stand in the key. And this guy just pushes him out the way. At this point, they're just fed up because this guy is torching them. Another clear foul. Bam gets the ball about the 3-point line, drives in, downhill, ball in his right hand where he likes it. And he gets fouled. Like, there's a clear foul here. And yeah, like I said earlier, and I'll probably say it again, a lot of these fouls are just aggression because they're upset. They're getting fried. By this point, they're down 20. Bam is a lot stronger than everybody that's guarding him. And if he's not stronger, he's quicker than everybody that's guarding him on the Wizards. So they can't do anything with him. And at this point, they're just like, we would rather take the foul and hope he misses at the free throw line. But these fouls have become egregious at this point. You can even see a lot of the guys raising their hand like, yeah, it was me, because they know they're hacking him at this point. So I would say out of all the free throws that he's taken so far from first quarter to third quarter, there's been about 2 or 3 that probably could have been a no call and it would have been okay. But the majority of them are straight up fouls, and stupid fouls at that. So we're now in the fourth quarter. Bam gets the ball in his left hand. He's going left. Again, he's just hacked. He's just hacked. 6.5 minute mark, or 6 and 40 something seconds. Bam is driving to the left again. He's hit, but it's not crazy. Could it have been a no call? Sure. Is Bam looking for the call at this point? It looks like it. That looks like he was hunting for a foul with that drive. The way he just threw his body and threw up the shot. However, every smart player does this. When you feel the contact and you're driving, you just throw it up. And a lot of times you get a call, especially if you're a superstar player. He's smart. He's been in the game for a long time. Same thing again. He just kind of threw his body into it. You see Shea do this sometimes. You see Jokic do this. You see Luka do this. Even the greats like Kobe, Dwayne Wade. You've seen them all do that. They feel the hand or just a little bit of a body impeding their progress, and they throw it up. And yeah, so I would say that looked like a flop. The last 2, I would say, flops. Another foul again, the 5.5 mark. They're just holding him. Like, he can't even get open to get the ball. They're literally holding him. You can't do that. And that's been a constant throughout this game. His free throw attempts would be maybe cut by a quarter. Instead of 43, maybe 33. Bad foul again. He has it so deep in the paint. You're already too late. Just let him get the bucket. Why are you fouling again? Because now your team is in the penalty. Now you're closer to being fouled out. And he still scored the bucket because he's stronger than you. Like, terrible fouls by the Wizards. Terrible. And at this point, they heat her up by 22 points. There's still a lot of time on the clock. There's 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Will the Wizards come back from this? No, probably not. It would take an incredibly good team like the Thunder, you know, and they would have to be shooting like extremely hot to come back down 20 with 3 minutes left. But it's been done before. The Raptors have done it against the Mavericks, and I'm sure you can think of other teams. It's been done before, so I'm not upset that Bam is still in the game right now. A terrible foul again. Bam shoots the 3. He misses the 3. He then runs it a bit closer, gets the ball around the paint, goes in to try to score, and they hack him. They just grab his arm and pull him down as he's trying to go up, and it's a clear foul. There's a lot of fouls in this game so far. People are upset with the amount of fouls, but I'm looking at every single one, and most of them are legitimate. Most of them, if you have anybody to blame in this game, most of the time it's the Wizards. These are horrible fouls. At this point, they heat her up by 25. There's 2 minutes left, and the Wizards are just doing anything they can to prevent him from scoring again. They don't care if they hack him, which again, they've been hacking him all game, so what's the difference? But this time, they're triple teaming him, and it's basically all the Wizards against Bam. They just don't want him to, I guess, beat Kobe or score any more points to embarrass them any further. But he does. And clearly, they failed.
Bam with the basketball. Spinning. Foul.
So at this point, this whole thing looks like a game of tag. I wish the ref didn't call that, but of course, he's been doing it all game, so he's just being consistent at this point. You could say that was a bad call. Now, in a lot of other games at this point, you would see the player be subbed out. But shout out to Spoelstra. I mean, if you can get your guy to be put in the history books, because, I mean, that is what's going to happen whether you like it or not. Bam Adebayo is in the history books. When he dies, people are going to look at the top scoring games of all time, and Bam is in there. Yeah, Spoelstra just was designing plays, and the Wizards, they don't really know how to defend, period. A bunch of undisciplined defenders hack him. He's at the line again. And at 1:16, that was the last foul on Bam Adebayo. He hit his last free throws and pushed him to 83. Again, it's crazy that Bam Adebayo did this. He's not an aggressive scorer. He doesn't have an insane mid-range. He doesn't shoot the ball a ton. He's a good player. He'd be a starter on any team in the NBA. But he's not that type of scorer, you know? So that's why it comes as a shock. And again, the reason why people are upset, if you compare him to other guys who scored a lot of points in the league. Luka Doncic, he had 73, but it was 15 of 16 from the line. Damian Lillard, 71, but he was 14 of 14 from the line. Joel Embiid, he dropped 70, but he was 21 of 23 from the line. Devin Booker, he only had 24 of 26 free throws. So nothing like this 43 free throw attempt display that we see from Bam Adebayo. That almost doubles most of these guys' free throw attempts. But I want to say one thing, because people want to compare this to the Kobe 81 a lot, saying that when Kobe did it, it was a lot more ethical and his coach and the team weren't doing this type of stuff. But we got to remember, Kobe's last free throw to give him 81 came with 24 seconds left, and the team was already up by 19 or 20 points. And at the time, it wasn't the Wizards, it was my Raptors, and our defense was just as bad. Kobe shot 18 of 20 free throws, and with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game, Kobe had 74 points. So yeah, Kobe's last actual bucket, last field goal was for 74, and then every point after that to get him to 81 were free throws. Now, there's an argument to be made because the Raptors are only down by 13 when there was 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game, so they could have definitely come back. And I mean, halfway through the fourth quarter, the Wizards could technically have come back too, so it's not like he should have sat the whole fourth quarter or anything like that for both these guys, for Kobe and for Bam. But at the end of the day, regardless of if most of these fouls were legitimate fouls, because most of them were, people see that free throw tally and they want to throw up. It looks ugly. It looks really ugly seeing 43 free throws. Like what? And a lot of people didn't watch the game because honestly, the Spurs were playing the Celtics that night, and that was the game I was tuning into. The only reason why I knew, and a lot of people knew, that Bam was doing this is because somewhere during a timeout, they announced it. And so I got League Pass, I changed the channel. But I mean, other than that, people weren't really watching the Miami Heat Wizards game unless you lived in Miami or you are from Washington. And if Bam's free throw attempts were in the 20s, maybe if he touched 30, people wouldn't be as upset. But because it got to 43 and it got out of hand, people that didn't watch the game and don't even care to analyze the fouls and look back on it are just going to look at the box score and immediately put an asterisk beside it and complain. And that's what's happening on the internet right now. And it's unfortunate because people are blaming Bam when really they should have blamed the Wizards for committing these terrible high school level fouls. These are horrible fouls. And I'll leave you with this one thing, because a lot of players had a lot of comments to say about this game. A lot of players didn't like it. A lot of players kind of scoffed at it, you know, comparing it to other players that have hit higher marks and saying they did it a lot more efficiently, a lot more ethically. But Giannis Antetokounmpo had a good point.
In 10, 20, 30 years from now, nobody's going to remember how many free throws he shot. I don't think I remember how many shots Kobe shot or how many free throws he made or threes. All you remember is 81, Wilt, 100.
Anyways, Bam Adebayo, 83 points. Regardless of what you think about it, it's an incredible feat. It's something we're all going to remember. You're definitely going to remember where you were and what day it was when Bam Adebayo dropped 83 points. So he's in the history books, whether you like it or not. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Do you hate this 83 points by Bam Adebayo? You think it was so unethical and it's ruining the game? Or are you one of those people that are like, yo, man, he did what he did. Regardless of what you think, it's incredible. And shout out to Bam Adebayo. I will say that the scoring inflation that's happening of late, even last season with all the 70-something points that's happened. Wembanyama scored 39 last night and nobody cared. I mean, partially because Bam dropped the 83 at the same time, but also because even if he did drop 39, nobody would really care because we've just seen that way too much. And so with the league changing the rules to protect shooters a lot, anything in the landing space to foul, the way they're calling it, scoring has become inflated to the point that people don't really care and respect it as much. And that's what happens. The same thing with the dollar in your country, wherever you live. They print a lot of money, then suddenly the value of your dollar goes down. And back in the day when you had $100 and it felt like you had a lot of money, now it feels like you have $1, right? That's how it feels in Toronto. And I'm sure it feels the same way in the States or wherever you're at in the world. So we're kind of doing that with NBA scoring and NBA points. We're inflating it, and it's causing people to not care as much about these incredible things. And that in combination with a ton of free throws, it leads to this. So the NBA needs a rule change. The refs need to start calling the game differently so that defense comes back and we're not giving every little ticky-tack to the offensive player. If that changes, I think people will respect the 30-point games, the 40-point games even more. And then if you get an outlier that drops 70, 80, something crazy like 90, I can't believe that's the next goal because we're at 83 now, then I don't think people will have this type of reaction again. But yeah, as usual, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time.